just a straight cylinder. And that cylinder will be welded into the center of a walking beam. These are two wheel hubs on the end that pivot on this center. The old one had a smaller spindle, smaller tubing in the axle, and it bent. So we're beefing it up. We're going to make two of them. The customer is going to cut this tubing out and weld in a new piece of tubing with the new hub welded in it, which I'm going to fit nicely to make sure everything's all straight and true. He needs the machine work done, basically. I have to take the measurements, reverse engineer the inside of this for the race and seal fitment, the spacing in between. We're going to start with a 5-inch diameter chunk of steel, bore it out, make it from scratch to where we can fit it into a piece of 6x2 tubing. Got this thing mounted in the lathe. It's really cattywampus, but I'm not that worried about it. I'm taking a ton off of this. I'm gonna clean up the saw cut here enough to get it on the jaws. Make some passes out here, flip it over, and true everything up. Gotta take over a 1/2 inch off the diameter and a 1/2 inch off the length, so it'll end up right. this side's all squared up, I can flip it over, put it in the jaws. I don't have to worry about anything slipping on a uneven surface. This center is going to get all bored out anyways. I believe I'm still above 5 inch. We're looking for like, I forget what it was, 4.5 somewhere in there. Flipping around, take the outside down to within maybe 100 or 50 of the diameter, the final diameter. Start boring out the middle. So we got the stock all evened up, held well. Some of you may be wondering why I started with a solid piece. Well, this was supplied by the customer. I gave him the option of buying a piece of hollow bar and waiting 4 days for it to show up, or he had this piece of 5 1/4 by 3 feet long laying around his farm for the past 40 years probably. He's like, I got a piece. So that's what I'm making it out of. We're going to poke a big old hole all the way through this thing, start opening it up for the bearing races on each side. I'm starting to really wish I had a bigger drill bit. The biggest one I got is 1 1/16. 1.5 would have been real nice to have right about now, but we'll get her done. So I'm just about out of drill bit. I'm going to put the 1¼ in here and open this up till I run out of my pilot hole, and then come back in and make the rest of my pilot. That way it has somewhere for the chips to go. So that was a 3/8 pilot hole, 1 1/16 drill bit. I'm running at 180 RPM. We'll see how it does. I'm just gonna go slow and steady. Hopefully I can make this whole cut without messing up my big drill bit and have to resharpen it. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm definitely going slower than that. Stick her down in the low range. There we go. There's 140. Let's see what happens. Bump, make sure she's engaged, and here we go. Going quite well. Happy with that. So I've run out of pilot hole. We will switch back to the small one, finish it out through the other side. It was actually cutting fairly well without it, but it'll be easier on this drill bit and everything with the pilot. Okay, we got this sunk all the way in there. Tailstock's moved forward a little bit to give me the extra little throw. I might have an inch and a half left in there. I think I'm going to keep it running at the slow speed. I lied, I'm going to speed this thing back up a little bit. Back to 180. Seems to like that a little bit better. I've run out of drill bit. Let's see if I can get this thing out in the chuck anymore. Camera's in the way. No, earthquake. We're not going to get all the way through with this bit. It's going to be damn close. Give us another ½ inch there. That's got to be very close. I might be able to power through the last little bit with the 1 1/16 bit. Slow her back down. Getting very close. My chuck jaws aren't quite wide enough to clear the drill bit, so I gotta be careful here. Okay, that's as far as I'm going. We just about got the tip all the way through, but there's not quite enough clearance to get out to, which is hot, out to the full diameter. So we've got this drilled out to 1 1/16. I need to open it up to 2 3/8 is my minimum. There's a lot to remove with this little boring bar. I have a 1-incher, but it just takes high-speed steel, so I'm hoping this one will hog away at it. I have a little over 2.5 inches of stick out here. This entire piece is 5-inch. I'm going to see how it goes, open this up a little ways. I may end up opening it up halfway, flipping it, and do the rest. We'll just see how it goes. I would like to be able to take like a 75 depth of cut would be really nice. This is going to be a 50. We're going to see how it goes. 50 depth of cut. I think I'm going to try 100. I'm running fairly slow feed rate. Boy, there's 100 depth of cut. Oof, I don't think it's going to like it. There's a 75 depth of cut. See how she does on power feed. It's taking it. So I think that's going to be it. 75 thou depth of cut, 180 RPM, 5 thou per rev. We'll just hog all that out of there. I'll bring it back when I get closer. So we got this bored out to 241. My minimum diameter is 2420, 2423, something like that. Went ahead and stuck the boring bar all the way out. Did a little 15 thou pass through the whole thing, so I have something to indicate on. I'm going to start boring out this side for the small race. This will be the outside nut end of the hub. So we'll take a pass on the face, establish a 0, come in the right amount for the race, and then the hubcap. Get all that done, flip it over, dial it all in nicely, and get the big race. This is for a walking beam, so it's not going to be spinning like a wheel. It just has to teeter-totter. So we don't have to be that close. I think if I get everything within half a thou, 3/10, I'll be very happy. It's going to work just fine. For the small race, it's 1.234 depth. And I double checked it. It's 1.234. 1, 2, 3, 4. I couldn't believe it. That seems to be what it's measuring. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in. We're going to open this up to 2.719 and a half. That makes sense in metric. So we'll do a couple passes of 75 thou depth of cut, hogging it out, and sneak up on it on the end. I lost track what I was doing here. Didn't film any of this roughing out stuff. But I used my 5/8 boring bar, open that through hole up to 10 thou under what I need for this race. So I already took a 5 thou scratch pass with my smaller boring bar, lose a nicer finish. And I'm going to take 1, maybe 2 more finish passes to get her right on size. Nice press fit. couple of custom hubs. Off camera, I hole sawed this out to 4-inch. Took a couple boring passes, made both of these fit nice and snug in there. They'll be welded in, and then the rest of the walking beam arm will be attached to these, probably fish plated, and the other 2 wheel spindles are out there so that they can pivot. The problem was the last spindle was undersized and kept bending and breaking. It was I believe it's 500-gallon spray rig, and bouncing through the field was pretty hard on these center spindles. Already installed the races and test fit. It spins nicely on the spindle that's going to be welded to the spray rig axle. That's a job well done.